Okay, fam, it's your boy D. Welcome back to Daily Due Diligence, right? It's your boy D. This is D's Daily Due Diligence. All right, guys. I hope you had an amazing weekend, right? I hope you got to maybe have some drinks, right? Kick it with your friends, family, whatever, right? Got to take a trip, go outside, right? Get some fresh air, all that, right? But right now, today's Monday, right? So I want to welcome you back. The market's open, so we need to get back to trading and getting back to making some money. All right, guys. Yeah. So today, right now in this video, I want to talk about Redbox. I haven't talked about it in a while, right? But I actually have been holding my shares for this time, right? Since before, like maybe a month ago is right when I first got in, and I didn't exactly time it perfect, even though I had caught the signs early, right, that it was gonna run. But today, as you can, tell, it's up 92% currently. Market's still open. We got about an hour and 45 minutes left of trading. But I want to kind of break down, what's happening and why I'm tired of this corruption, right, in my opinion, in the markets and all this tomfoolery that goes on, right? I'm not a financial advisor. It's not financial advice, right? So don't take it as that. I'm just here to bring you the facts and the information and to help people learn, right? So yeah, I'm going to do my best today to break down kind of what I think is happening and just to show you some things that are pretty obvious. All right, guys. So before we, use too much time on the intro, let's go ahead and jump into the information down here. All right, guys, I got you covered with the important information. All right. Cool. So if you haven't already, if you haven't considered it, right, consider subscribing, hitting that like button, guys. I always do my best to bring you the best information and most current information and things that you can learn off of. All right, guys. So yeah, this whole video, right, it's just for Redbox. So let's pay attention. Oh, my bad. It's not what I want to pull up. It's right here, actually. All right, let's talk about Redbox. Let's do it. So just some basic information on this stock. If you don't know, there's about 12.62 million shares outstanding, right? According to Webull. According to Market Watch, there's 13.6 million in the float, right? That would be the outstanding total amount of shares. And then the free float, according to Webull, is about 2 million shares, which those are the shares that should be tradable, right? And not locked up. And then according to Market Watch, again, it's about 9.5 million that should be tradable. All right. So the one thing I never liked about this stock was the information that's out there is just not very consistent. It's very, different on Ortex, on different websites, people who provide the information. It's very different. All right. So just alone today, the volume is 95 million. All right. Currently. 95.2 million. So how does that all make sense when there should only be 2 million shares available, or at most 9.5 million? Because right there, right, if there's only 9.5 million shares, that means that the shares have been traded 9 times, right? About 9 times. So that just doesn't even make sense, because I'm sure there's people that are holding shares. All right. So this comes the question of synthetics, right? Is there synthetics? In my opinion, yes. There's a lot of fake shares here. And what's the short interest? We've seen it up to 280 some percent at one point, like 100 and some percent at another point. Right now, what I'm looking at, it says about 77% on Fintel, 28% on Google, and 31% on MarketBeat. This thing has also been on the threshold list for over 2 months. All right, so make it make sense. All right, guys, it does not make sense to me. And then, come on, are you serious, bruh? 0 shares available to short, right? Oh, and I'm gonna show you all this proof right now, the receipts. I like to bring the receipts, but I just want you to take into consideration this. All right, so 341% cost to borrow, and 36 million shares are owned by institutions, right? According to Fintel, 36 million shares are owned, right? When there's only supposed to be 12.62 or 13.6 shares total, all right? So that's the breakdown on that. It's just that's what we talk about with other stocks, about the corruption, the manipulation, right? With AMC and GME and BBIG and all these other meme stocks, right? Cool. So let's jump into this information. We can look at the chart here real quick. You got, the 2-minute chart. I have my extension here, my Fibonacci. And, just to put something into perspective, the float, like when you see these volume candles in the morning, 2.3 million shares, right? 2.3 million shares on that candle. Another almost a million there, 3 million there, and almost 3 million there. So just within that little time period right here, right, you could see that the float, the volume, right, that's almost representing the whole float just in the volume alone here. All right, so we're gonna zoom out a little bit. Let's go to the 5-minute. What I've been paying attention to, right, is how high maybe this thing can go. because it got rejected already right here at 650. So around 650 is where it's seeing major resistance, and we can see it's coming back down to cool off. And that's because the RSI got all the way to 98, right? That's super hot. So it came back down. Now it's in the middle again. So it could be ready to take another move up. All right. The momentum is shifting that way, right? We saw the explosion right here where it just took off from 313 at the low around there to the peak of 650. All right. So that's an amazing amount of shares. So I'm kind of, want to give you my opinion on what's going on. And the MACD, so we're just looking at the indicators right now. The MACD, this is the 5-minute. It's getting over to cross back over. Looks like, okay, it's already been through the sell cycle there, all right? And right now they're just trying to shake people off, I think, trying not to let it catch too much FOMO, all right? And I know I did see a halt this morning on the way up. So that's because of the amount of moves that it made, right? The percentage or whatever, how fast. So it's holding 583 to $6 pretty decently, right? It's holding it. And what I'm looking here is the EMAs, all right? So let's start to zoom out. Let's go to the 30-minute chart. You got the cross here, all right? So this is showing strength right now, right? Oh, that's the super trend, sorry. But the EMAs right here, you're about to get the cross. This is the 30-minute chart. And we can zoom out to the 4-hour. So the reason it got rejected here at the 200 EMA, right, is because that's going to be the top EMA. And if it can break it through with a clean break, it tried to break it, but it got rejected. If it can, catch support here and start to make its way up, we're going to come and retest that 650 area. And that's where I would expect to see, a bigger move. And we just got the super trend, right? But it is insane, guys. The volume is insane. That's how you get these big green candles, right? And these are the other resistance lines. Let me go ahead and delete this Fibonacci, though. Right, let's go back here. So that's why it's testing this area right now. Okay, guys. So this coming week, there's going to be a lot of fear. We got, the interest rate, from Fed Powell and all that talk coming. So I'm actually looking for my exit point on this, right? I don't really expect it to go back up to like $15 or $18 or anything like that. This to me has to do with the FTDs, all right? So that's why it's hovering right now around this price. It's holding this support here. And it could definitely catch a bounce here and make its way. But, personally, just not telling you to buy or sell. My price range is between like $6 and $10, right? I want to exit somewhere in there just to make a smart trade, all right? So just so you can see here, like on the 21st, this company, right? This is the buying from, different reporting that goes on. So with hedge funds, so right here, they bought calls and puts not too long ago, right? So I'm sure these people kind of knew, this company maybe knew, right, something was about to happen. This is the shares to borrow for the day, 0, right? 0. There was 1,000 at 341% cost to borrow, right? So this is where I'm pulling the information that I was showing you earlier. So supposedly 0 shares, right? But they're still, holding it down a little bit. Maybe they had some on reserve, right? Just because they borrow them doesn't mean that they're going to short them, right, until they need them. And today I'm pretty sure they needed them. At one point, Redbox was up at 109%. It's currently up 91% though. All right, so here's the proof, that Fintel's saying that institutional shares are at 36.7 million, which is 268% of the float. The numbers have always been pretty insane, right, for Redbox. And then the last thing here, just want to point out, it's gonna be it was on the threshold, right? So Redbox has been on the threshold list for a long time. And if you don't know, if you're asking what the threshold list is, the threshold list is published by exchanges and contains a list of threshold securities, which are stocks that have a total failed to deliver position for 5 consecutive settlement days at a registered clearing agency, fails to deliver stock totals 10,000 shares or more, and the failed shares equal at least 0.5% of the issuer's total shares outstanding. A security ceases to be a threshold security and comes off the list when it does not meet the relevant threshold requirements for 5 consecutive settlement days. A broker-dealer with failed to deliver positions for 13 consecutive settlement days must immediately close out the failed to deliver positions by purchasing shares in the open market. So I'm pretty sure we're seeing all of that, right? Shorts are getting squeezed. This is definitely a short squeeze that we're looking at. I mean, 100% just doesn't come out of nowhere, right? So maybe not all the shorts, but a good amount of them. There are several ways to view the threshold list. Some investors consider these stocks as possible short squeezes. Another theory contends that due to the failures to close, smart money is betting the stock price will decline in the near future. All right, so just to give you, some information on what the threshold list is, but this is the amount of FTDs that Redbox has had, the past couple months, and it's been on this threshold list for a while, right? So there has been so many issues with the shares, and as you can see today, 95.5 million volume, right, on a float. Again, just want to reiterate that there's only supposed to be about 13.6 million shares. So as we've said before, this is probably coming from the liquidity fairy, Virtu, that CEO. He said, if there's only 1,000, or there's only 200 shares, and we're trying to fill an order for 1,000 shares, we're gonna take the order. All right, not a quote, but he said something along those lines. All right, guys. So just be careful out there. This is definitely a risky play. Like I said, have your plan. I don't plan to stay in this much longer if I can break even or get out, right? Because I haven't timed it exactly right as far as my position getting in and out. But I will be happy if I make a little bit of money off of this, or if I even break even. All right, guys. But I will be watching it today and tomorrow. I don't expect much after that. This is a lot of volume, and you would have to consider, you would have to keep that volume going. It would have to continue tomorrow and the next few days. Guys, so that's all I got for you. That's your Redbox information video. So I hope to catch you in the next one. Peace.